Hey guys, this is Ace. I also go by Acian,
KeyDagger.
and we are here to talk about PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Now, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale is coming out in November, and we've had an opportunity to be part of the beta, and we've also just recently played the demo, which you guys saw the footage of. And we're very, very excited to talk about it because we haven't actually done any of this kind of stuff yet. So this is our chance to keep you guys in the loop about what's going on. This week, Sony is going to be holding a meetup here in New York, Thursday, I believe it is. And then this weekend is Comic-Con, so we're going to be playing lots of All-Stars, and we're very, very excited to get our hands on more characters and more stages. But in the meantime, we thought it would make sense to talk to you guys and let you know how to best get prepared for what All-Stars has to offer, being that there are now demos everywhere that you can play. You can play at local GameStop, you can play it at Best Buy. If you're going down to Comic-Con, you can play it there as well. So we wanted to give you some tips and tricks to really be successful and get yourself in the right mindset to play PlayStation All-Stars. Now, what's the first thing that we want to talk about in terms of getting people in the right mindset for All-Stars?
Well, basically, when you walk in, pick up the controller and say, I'm playing PlayStation All-Stars, don't think it's Brawl or Marvel vs. Capcom or Tekken or anything. It's a new game. Pick it up and free your hands. Learn the game. You know?
Yeah, I think a big trap that people fall into is that people are going to be looking at PlayStation All-Stars from a fighting games lens, right? So there are a lot of conventional fighting game things that we've come to get used to. For example, like a health meter or dashing, or like with Smash Brothers, it's like the ring out system.
Yeah.
Like there are things that we've started to get used to, and a lot of that stuff is curiously absent from All-Stars. But what that really means is it's a new game, which means new mechanics and new rules. Back in the day, we used to get new games all the time. Apparently, we don't have those anymore. But essentially, if you go into All-Stars with the mindset of a fighting game, you're going to really just not set yourself up for success.
And you're going to think it sucks, which it doesn't.
Yeah, it's actually like a lot of fun. So let's talk about 3 main things to look out for when you first go out to play PlayStation All-Stars. The first thing we're going to talk about is meter management. What do we mean by that?
Basically, the new people, when they pick up the game and get their first level 1, they're like, ooh, wow, guess what? I have a level 1. And then they just click the button. That's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, what ends up happening is you just end up like whiffing a whole bunch of level 1 supers, you get a really low score.
You get angry, you throw the controller, and you leave the GameStop.
Exactly. So I think the one thing to note is that there's 3 levels of supers, right? Level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is the cheapest, but you have to work really, really hard to make sure that it's effective.
Yeah.
Level 2 is the step above that. Not as hard to execute, but a little bit more effective than your level 1. And then level 3 is very easy to execute, but it costs a whole bunch of meter.
It's the hardest.
But you get guaranteed kills from that. And so what you want to do is really kind of figure out when and where to use your supers. And I think that the first thing... Go ahead.
Well, basically for your level 1, you want to try to combo into it, or do it when 2 people are engaged in conflict. You walk up and you kill them. You don't want to just try to do it when they're next to you, because it is still the cheapest super, so it's like the hardest to get kills with. People can dodge it with ease, even by accident. And then with your level 2, you could try to, like, a lot of level 2s last longer, and then some are a lot more wider in effect, but you still want to try to, like, get more than 2 kills, because if you don't, even if you get 1 kill, you just wasted a good level 2.
Right.
And then with your level 3, you want to at least get 3 kills, if anything. If you don't get 3 kills, I'm sorry, you've wasted your level 3.
Right, exactly. And I think that a great way to think about the super system is not to think about it like a fighting game, but more so like a sports game. And we actually thought of like the analogy of a basketball game, right?
Yeah.
So one of the kind of big critiques of skepticism is, well, if there's no health meter, I'm attacking a bunch of dudes, but it's not really making an impact. It's not really making a difference, but it is, right? Very much in basketball, when you're dribbling because you really want to get yourself in the right position so you can take a shot, right?
It's the rules.
So if you think about all the fighting that you're doing as dribbling, it puts you in a better kind of mindset, because ultimately what you're doing is trying to position yourself to have the supers that you're executing be most effective, right? So if you have level 1, you really want to put yourself in a position where you're attacking like you're killing 2 or 3 people because that's the best position for that particular super. And as the game goes on, maybe you fought for so long that you're now at the level 2. Now you really want to make sure, because you've already spent so much time dribbling, that the shot that you take, you really want to make sure that it counts. All right. So let's talk about the second thing, which is
neutrals.
Neutrals. Do you want to take this one?
Sure. We basically gave the name neutrals to the buttons which you don't click a directional pad to. Basically, when you first pick up the game, you rush in and you're still holding the forward button and you click square. And then you launch someone and you're angry because you didn't get to do your combo to get your AP, you know? So you want to walk up and try to like not hold the directional pad. I know it's hard for a lot of gamers. It was hard for me. But when you don't hold the directional pad and you do a neutral attack, it builds the most AP, and a lot of neutral buttons are combo starters.
Right. So for example, when you first pick up the game, I think a lot of people tend to gravitate towards Kratos. And whoever has played God of War knows that Kratos has this standard like square, square, triangle, you know, combo, right? A lot of times what happens is you press forward square, and what ends up happening is you just do a grab that, you know, is an instant knockback, right?
Yeah, he chains them and body slams them and they get launched.
Exactly. So you want to start off with neutral, square, square. If you hit square a third time, it's going to launch them again.
Yeah.
Right? So what you really want to do is you want to do square, square, triangle, and that actually sets you up for more combo opportunities. From the square, square, triangle, you can do the Icarus wings. You can do the Cestus gloves. You can even actually hit up and then jump and leap and then continue an air combo from there. There are a lot of different things and a lot of kind of maneuvers that you can do just by making sure that you don't hit a directional button. You had some Parappa tips.
Yep, the Parappa's best friend is neutral circle, which is the mic. You grab him and pull him in so you don't have to put yourself in immediate danger, and then you start a combo. You could either do 100 punches, which is a launch. It's not the greatest, but is good for the new players. Then you could mic him, uppercut, up, backward skateboard, do crazy stuff once you start getting the hang of it. But neutral circle is Parappa's best friend.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that making sure that you know when to use neutrals is actually really, really key. So we talked about meter management, neutrals, and the last thing we're going to talk about today is traversal. We talked about dashing in fighting games, and it's something that's actually kind of common that doesn't exist in All Stars, but it's really, really, really important to figure out exactly when to traverse and how to traverse, because I think when you first start All Stars, you push the forward button, Kratos does his like little like you know his little like run, and you're just like, man, this game is slow, but it's not slow. It's actually just one movement speed, and we're used to 2 movement speeds. The way to get around though is to actually use your normal moves as traversal moves.
Like for example, for Kratos, you could do your spear takedown, which actually doesn't launch. So you could do that and spear someone down and it knocks them down. They get back up immediately and then you can start your combo.
Exactly. And in fact, there are a lot of characters who have these traversal moves that end up being crumble moves, essentially.
Yeah, it's Parappa's spinning mic, Big Daddy's takedown. All these, also Parappa's skateboard.
Diagonal straight down.
I mean, all these moves don't launch people immediately. They actually knock them down, and they don't actually get to stay on the ground. They get up immediately.
Right. So, like, a few examples. We talked about Big Daddy's, like, rush attack, Kratos' spear. Jak and Daxter in the demo has a hoverboard, which is amazing for, like, just going from left to right. But he also has this upward punch, which is amazing for vertical gameplay.
Like, for example, Radix level 2, if you do Jak and Daxter's upward uppercut, you get in the air really fast, and you could use that hoverboard to stay up so Radix can't get you with that level 2.
Exactly, and we'll talk about like how to like avoid supers like in a later video, but like that's probably the best way to avoid a lot of these supers. Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna be making some more of these if you guys wanna hear them, and we're gonna be down at Comic-Con. Hopefully we'll be able to get some footage while we're down there, but we're stoked for PlayStation All Stars, and we hope that there are more people who